Alrighty. You got me on the move a little bit. Let me do this. A little behind the scenes action, huh? This is so funny. So, ooh, boy. Hey, me. That's what I look like. Good morning, everybody. Boop. Okay, that's a little better. So yeah, I forgot actually. I kind of sat down at my little desk to do this TikTok live, and I forgot that last night I was watching television in my bed, and I used the little stand here. I was watching what is it called? The Midwife is my thing. I'm a sucker for any of those BBC historical things. Anywho, good morning. Yeah, and I'm also in my pajamas, not my pajamas, but like my bathrobe. I should just call it my robe, my house robe, my house coat. Oh my gosh, do I sound like 80 years old? But it's a little bit chilly this morning, and I got my tea, and I just wanted to check in. I am here for you for like the next hour, okay? Amy, hello, nice to see you. Ruth is saying I'm a fan of the BBC programming too. It's Slab Day. Okay, it's so funny, Christina. I read your comment before I saw the name, and I was like, I know it's the solstice. What is Slab Day? And then I realized, I know who it is. Congratulations. Good luck with your slab. And I will see you next year. Yay. Good stuff. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jen B. Rochelle. Okay, so yeah, it's the solstice, you guys. And this is this is a day I always look forward to, because what this day means to me is that every day after this has a little smidge more of sunlight. And if you think about it, we are at the opposite of June 21st, which strangely enough to me seems like just the beginning of summer in the way that the calendar goes in my head. That it seems like, the summer is just beginning and all that, but yeah, so we're getting more sunlight. Yeah. German Maid is saying, good morning. Did you get your hair done? It looks darker. No, I literally just kind of crawled out of bed. I was exhausted yesterday. I had a lot of coaching yesterday. So no, I didn't, but thank you. Here's a funny thing I'll tell you about my hair is for years I colored it. I was like, oh, my hair is such a boring brown color. And then during COVID, maybe it was even before then, I didn't have the opportunity to go to my guy, and I was like, hey, you know what? I kind of like the color of my hair. Isn't it funny? Good morning, Erin. Nice to see you. And Callie Rose. There you go. Chris J20 is saying, today is hair day for me. Love going to the salon. So do I. I have a wonderful guy. His name is Phil. And we just get on this energetic level because we both love to travel. He works in this tiny salon in our small town. Well, it is the town where my home is. And we are always just getting on this like wavelength. Ever been when you're on a wavelength with somebody and we're just like, so where are you going next? Well, here's what I'm doing. What are you doing? And it's just so much fun. It is. Catherine, thank you. Yes, my leopard robe. My mother used to walk around in her bathrobe, over like just growing up in New England in a drafty house probably. And getting in trouble if you turned on the heat. So dressing in layers. There we go. German May 95 says, I love your hair. I wish it was brave enough to not color. My hair would be white. You know what? Can I be honest with you? I am jealous of people's hair whose goes white. I get excited when I see the little silvers, the slivers of silver. Ooh, listen to that. The slivers of silver coming in. My hair probably won't go that white. I wish it would. I think it looks really cool. And one thing I love about many of my Gen X peeps is they're letting their hair grow natural and being cool with it. So German Maid, you do you, but I bet your hair would look really cool if it was all white. There we go. Okay, there you go. Susan is just saying stopped coloring and started wearing wigs. No more worrying about thin hair. Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis has awesome hair. She does. Catherine is saying I'm in the gray transitions. Oh my gosh, you guys, we could just chat about hair. And we can if you want. But for those of anybody else who's like, this is Destination Decluttered, you guys, did I walk into the wrong room? I just want to remind you or, say to you, I'm here for you for the next hour or so. in these days before Christmas, in these days before the end of the year, to help you with your clutter struggles. And maybe you're at a point today saying, I can't even. And I get it. There is a lot going on. Even if you're not celebrating the holidays, even if your holiday traditions are simple and small like ours are, you're still affected by the energy of the world outside of you. There's going to be more people outside. And so I get it if you're saying, I can't even. Maybe you want to plant some seeds for next year. Maybe this is the time of year that you say, you know what, let me look back. Did I do the things? Is my home more cluttered or less cluttered or about the same cluttered as it was last January? And if it is as cluttered or more, let's do something about that, okay? I mean, I only say that because, and I qualify this, it's not for me to be drumming up more business as a coach. I love coaching. I love working with clients. And Michelle just said, you have changed my mindset and my home. Thank you so much. You're welcome. But you know what the cool thing is I accept the compliment and the thanks, but I'm going to equally give it right back to you, because do not forget the hard work you did to change your mindset and to change your home. You know, you can listen to this stuff and just be like, yeah, whatever, or yeah, I'm going to do it and still not do anything, to take it, you know? But what I want to offer to you is you can do something about your situation, your clutter situation. Now, and it does take doing something different with your head that changes how you feel about something. Instead of feeling like I can't do anything, how about you can feel like you can do something? It is a slow process. You're right. User 5935 is saying it's a slow process. That's okay. Slow is a good way to go through things. It gives you a chance to say, instead of pitching everything out the window into a dumpster, you're being methodical, you're being caring, you are trusting, you are getting better at a decision making about what you keep in your life and what you say, hey, you know what? It's time for this to go. It doesn't do it for me anymore. And maybe it never did, but you were just afraid. Fear, people. Fear and love. Actually, what is it? Fountains of Wayne, Peace and Love. Fear is what keeps us stuck. Fear of getting in trouble. Fear of being judged that you have the wrong stuff. Fear of so many things. But just even thinking about that. Here's a seed to just plant in your head. When you are reticent, when you are reluctant to do something, just ask yourself, is there a fear behind this? Am I afraid of decluttering my home because it's just going to get cluttered up again? Am I afraid of decluttering my home because it's going to mean that I'm going to lose things that I care about? Am I afraid to declutter my home because I'm afraid to make decisions about what I want? I'm afraid to face that earlier me who bought all these things that thought I was going to do some entertaining and some crafts and things. Am I afraid to realize that I didn't do the things I thought I was going to, and I probably am not going to? You know? Steph is asking, how do you make a one-on-one appointment? Steph, I will tell you, pretty easy. It's different this time of year, and in January, it'll go back to kind of being more regimented. But because this is such a topsy-turvy kind of couple of weeks, what I have done is I have said to everybody, pretty simple, get on my mailing list. Get on my mailing list, and then we have a one-on-one connection here. Then you can email me and say, hey, I want a one-on-one appointment. Typically what I will do when things are a little bit like in the new year, what I have is a calendar on my website that's populated with specific days and times of when I'm available. But what I thought I would experiment with, and I love to experiment and play with things, is because probably so many people have so much going on this weekend or this next 10 days or so, 10 days until the 31st, is to leave it kind of open. My schedule next week is a lot more loose. And maybe yours is too. So instead of saying I need to be someplace regimented, you say to me, hey, how about next week? You got anything on a Tuesday? Yeah, I can do this. Let's do that. Being a little bit more informal. So destinationdeclutter.com/join is how to get on my email list. I always call it my email list, but I guess it's just to make sure. I don't know. That's just interesting that I say that. I don't feel like, I feel like an ownership to it because I want to take care of my people. So it's, if it's mine, I feel a little bit of that, you know. So just notice that. And I'm just going to pop up here. If anybody signs up on the mailing list, I can, let me just double check here. Okay, so I have it open in case anybody does, to make sure it works. But yes, that's how you do it. All right. Yeah, okay, Susan Porter is saying, that's what I've had to learn, the slow process. Would get so frustrated when I couldn't get it all done in a weekend. Of course. This process, just because it takes longer than you want it to, longer than you expect it to, doesn't mean it's not a journey, a road trip worth getting on towards, oh, I didn't even get my little heart in the screen there. You are here. Your clutter is just the stuff between you and how your destination decluttered. See what I did there? Just because it's going to take a while doesn't mean it's not worth starting. And it's going to take even longer the more you delay, just even putting one foot in front of the other, as the Christmas special would say. And it really is a journey worth taking. I will say this, I will share with you guys. So I have tried to talk the talk and walk the walk, even though when I started my decluttering coaching, I had decluttered so much of my house that I am in a different, I am just further along in my journey to have all of my stuff taken care of. But yes, I still had a table of stuff down the basement that I was like, I don't know what to do with this stuff. Oh my God. And I can't ask you, I would not feel right suggesting that you do something about your clutter if I'm not also doing it with my clutter. So here's a really cool thing I will share with you, a story of earlier, like in the last few months, I went down to that table, and I probably have done some videos about it. And what I found was I was overwhelmed when I looked at that table, all of the stuff on it, because so many things were so different. So I took a tool from the Destination Decluttering Toolkit, and I realized I could overcome my overwhelm by chunking it down. Instead of looking at all of it, I looked at one thing. There's a pile of magazines. There's a couple of figurines from the Danbury Mint. There is, what else am I picturing? Because it's not there. There are some books. There is a weird sculpture that I thrifted literally like 20 years ago, but I knew it was pretty cool, so I've hung on to it. There is, what else? There is a book in my bookcase that I didn't realize I had. I chunked it down, and then whatever that chunk was, I did a thing to get that chunk into a better home instead of mine. And I did a combination of things. And maybe, Sherry LaRue is saying, my parents are in their late 70s, and they have so much stuff. They have so much stuff. I bet it feels overwhelming, right? I don't know what to do about it. The overwhelm makes you paralyzed, makes you feel like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to walk away. The way to get started on that is to, first of all, everybody, all the time, notice how your body reacts to that feeling of overwhelm, and it's paralyzed. It is not moving. It's not doing anything. It doesn't know what to do. It's stuck. Take a deep breath. Take multiple deep breaths. I saw somebody, it was so funny. I saw something yesterday on one of my Instagram feeds, and it was about breath work. I'm doing breath work. And I'm just like such a sarcastic New Englander. I'm like, oh yeah, where we're from, we call it breathing. Breath work. I'm going to work on my breath. And you can work on it. And it's not work. It's just breathing deeper. Calming down your nervous system. Notice how if you were to calm down a little kid, or calm down an anxious puppy, or calm down yourself, notice how my hands are kind of going like this. You would pet them. You would give them long, luxurious strokes and say, it's okay. Calm down. And you notice that maybe you feel a little bit better. Like, I can do something about this. This is okay. Starting with your body and your nervous system first is just going to make it so much easier, because your body will not be in fight or flight mode. And then calming down and slowing down and talking yourself down off the ledge. I can do something about this. And what you do is, notice I said calm down, slow down, breathe down, chunk down, write down. Overwhelm has the word over in it. So think of the opposite. Down. Chunk down, slow down, all the downs. And then do a little bit at a time. Ask your parents. If you're wanting to help somebody else declutter, start with asking them what they want help with. Do not declutter at somebody unless they give you their permission. And even then, always respect their independence and what's important to them. Do not decide what is their clutter and what is their clutter and their crappy shoes, because trust me, it will come back and bite you in the ass. Okay, there's a story there. I won't get into it, but man, oh Manischewitz, did I have to pay for something that in frustration I was like, this thing, I'm throwing it away. Whoo! I decluttered 99,000 items, and then that one item, the person's like, hey, the person, my mother, did you know what happened to those shoes? I'm like, anywho. Don't declutter at somebody, declutter with somebody. Okay. Okay, so somebody's saying, yes. Okay, user 5204, mom of 2 here. Awesome. Also a teacher. Gosh, I get a lot of teachers. I love it. I think teachers rock. So if I can help teachers declutter and feel better, here I am for you, okay? Struggling to feel caught up. Caught up to what? Caught up to probably a place that you thought you would be having a lot more stuff done right now in this time of the calendar. You thought you were going to get done, you didn't. How about this? Lower your expectations. I love this. Don't double down and knock it. Yeah, you know what? Work at a pace that works for you. Take into account your humanity. Lower your expectations. You know, if I waited until I was showered and plucked and whatever, if I was looking good, I would never show up on camera, because I'd be like, oh, wait, let me just put on a little makeup. Oh, I'm not wearing the right thing. Oh, let me put a filter on. Oh, my camera's not right. Let me get this. Meh. You know what? Lower your expectations and cut yourself some slack. You will have a better holiday if you work on how you're feeling and letting go of what really doesn't matter. You will show up better for your 2 kids. You will show up better for yourself if you say, you know what? None of that matters. A lot of this doesn't matter. What really matters is these few things, okay? Notice that. Yes, okay, so Steph, yes, exactly, email. Sorry, everything just zooped past me, okay? Okay, Lynn's is saying, I accepted this year that I'm the parent who Christmas shops December 23rd and 24th. I'm finally okay admitting it. Hey, how about this? Yeah, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is how I celebrate, you know? And yeah, embrace who you are. Like, so for example, in our house right now, I will share with you, I cannot stand doing the Christmas tree. I am, if it were up to me, we wouldn't even have a tree, but my husband loves it. We have a goofy little aluminum tree, like a 1950s aluminum tree that I bought thrifting somewhere, because that's how I buy all my stuff. And he's probably going to put it up today. He enjoys it. So I say, you go, you be you, you do that. He also was the one to put up the blow molds outside, and we've got the candles, little candeliers and the thing. He does a lot of that big stuff. Now, I'm not as Christmassy as him like that, but I am looking forward to putting out a lot of my our Christmas things. I used to work at Pier 1, so I like to do little like vignettes and setting up the things over here, little tabletop displays, and it's not a lot. I have definitely whittled down the amount of Christmas decor that I have, because I became overwhelmed, and this was long before I started doing coaching. But so I never really consciously realized the connection between too much stuff and overwhelm and not feeling good. I would look and I'd be like, oh my God, I got so much Christmas stuff to bring out. And I loved all of it. But some of it I was more excited to put out than others. And other things I was like, this doesn't have a home. I can never find a good place to put this. And so it frustrated me. And I don't want to feel frustrated. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to really go through and weed out the stuff that's really cool still. And leave myself kind of, curate my collection. And the stuff that I didn't want anymore, that I knew still could have a good home, I packed it up and I gave it to my sister who loves all the little tiny things, all the little kitschy, vintage things. Okay. Steph, all right. Hey, I will get back to you sometime today because I've got stuff going on. But yes. Okay. And here, German Maid 95 saying, I have a lot of Christmas trauma and PTSD. I hate decorating for Christmas because of it. I try, but I hate it. That is really cool that you notice that. And you do you. You do you, Here's the story is, so we have blow molds. They're like the big kind of, like 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, however, when they kind of made a comeback. But like the big plastic things that light up in your lawn. Now, we never had them as kids. We had a very traditional, boring New England colonial household. But I always admired kind of all the people with the lights on. So when I became an adult, I said, I want to do this. And I remember a number of years ago now, I was on like Craigslist or something. And there was a woman selling a Santa and a snowman. They were big. They were like 4 feet tall. And so we drove up to Reading, PA, and we went to her house and got them. And she was saying that they used to put them out at the holidays, but they were her husband's, and he used to do that, and he passed away, and it just made her sad to put them out. And so we bought them from her. I gave her a big hug. I said, they're going to a good home. And now, ironically, now my husband is the one who puts them out every year. But I understand the feelings about the holidays. So treat yourself kindly, some people, Jen B is saying, I don't decorate. It's a chore to get it out and then put it away. Notice that. That is totally okay. And notice if you're doing something that rubs you the wrong way, rubs your, when I talked about, I'm getting this image of like petting my dog, Rigby. He's no longer here, but we would calm him down. Hey, bub, shh, it's okay. You go with the grain, right? You go like, calm somebody down like this. Who is that? Not Keith Sweat. Rub you the right way. If it rubs you the wrong way, you're going against the grain. You're going against the fur. It doesn't feel good. Honest, pay attention to when things rub you the wrong way. And just get curious about it. And I'm not going to force you to change your mind about anything. But just if you don't like decorating, you don't have to do it. And be okay with it. Don't force yourself to do something that really rubs you the wrong way. But notice there's something there. And maybe you don't want to decorate, but maybe you just want to feel better. German Maid is saying used to get sick and vomit and all that. Maybe you just want to get to neutral as opposed to feeling unhappy. For years, because I worked retail for decades in the holiday season. And so I was exhausted, and I was done with it because I had been working with Christmas stuff since July. And so I was just like, I'm tired, PTSD, like not PTSD, what is it? Suicidal affective disorder, whatever. I realized that I have a different level of interest in Christmas decor than other people, and also than what I used to do. I'm different. I have changed now, and that's okay. Okay? So allow yourself to be the person you are. And if the person you are right now, with the level of interest and care and passion and energy and motivation to do something is different than you were before, cool. That's who you are now. Love who you are now, because the only person you ever are is the one that you are in right now at 8:24 in the morning Eastern time on December 1st of 2023. Okay? Treat yourself kindly. Love who you are. Say, yep, I don't put out a lot of Christmas ornaments. Or I used to and I don't anymore. My mom's going through this. I'm helping her with that. Last year, we donated so much Christmas stuff because she would buy it. She got really into Christmas. There's stories in my family, in my friend group from home about my mother literally not finding a Christmas tree big enough or fluffy enough that she would intertwine 2 trees because she was so into it. But now she's not. She's like, I'm kind of done. It's more of a chore than it is fun. Okay. Callie Rose is saying the blow-up things don't survive more than one North Dakota winter. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, we try to take good care of them. But yeah, some of them do get a little bit threadbare. But luckily, we are here in Pennsylvania, so not as bad. But yeah, it's so different. I don't do Christmas. I give it year round. Yep, if I see something, yeah, so Christmas gifts too. User Patty Pumpkin is saying that. We do that too. My husband and I, it's just the two of us. We can make it if we try. So we'll have a few random things under the tree for like just, to do something on Christmas morning. But to me, notice that version of doing a little bit at a time, like a road trip all year, and feeling that feeling of love year round versus having to save up and then doing it at 1 year, denying yourself or postponing the joy until the destination. Here's where the destination decluttered, kind of ethos differs from thinking about stuff and saying postponing. Like the destination really, honestly, is just to get you motivated to know that you can get there. It's like a North Star. Look at us. A few days before Christmas, and lo, the angel of the Lord said, "Fear not, for I'm totally quoting Linus. There is a North Star that keeps you on track to say, yep, that's what I'm heading for. That's what I'm heading for. That's just to get you started. It is not meant to postpone joy. Then what you do is as soon as you start on that journey, you get that feeling every day that you're making progress. Look at this. This looks better today than it did yesterday. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. You get it a little bit every day you're on this journey. You get a little bit of that feeling, just like buying the stuff along the year as opposed to waiting for Christmas. So notice how these holiday themes can work with your decluttering. If you waited all year, if you waited and then tried to declutter just in December, boy, you'd be doing a wicked lot of decluttering. It would probably be exhausting. Just doing a little bit at a time. As I said, and I'm not doing this, I just think I think this is more, the more I got these little stickers made, I don't know if you can see that, it's probably backwards. I had a coupon, and so they were and they're tiny. They're tinier than I thought they'd be, but I think they're cute. And this is a mantra that I think would help all of us. And that's why I made it into these stickers. And I'm figuring out a way to get the people on my mailing list. If you want a sticker, get on my mailing list. But every little bit helps. If you just woke up every morning and said, ooh, now they spilled all over the place. If you just said to yourself, what's a little thing I can do today? A smidgy-widgy little thing that doesn't even activate the drama of my nervous system. What's a thing I could do today? It could be as easy as, you know what, when I go to put on some lipstick, I know, Allie Willis, I know I look like a corpse. I weed out the ones that I don't wear anymore. I'm done. And I throw them away. That could be a start of you decluttering. It's those little tiny moments every day when you're going through your stuff and you're saying, what do I not need anymore? It's opening up the drawer that has your dish towels in it, because everybody has a dish towel drawer, right? And saying, you know what, those ones are looking kind of junky. I'm gonna take those, and instead of being dish towels, those are now rags, and put them over here. All right. Okay, yeah. Kathy Gen X Girl Code is saying, I love that. My OCD makes it hard if I can't do 100%. Yeah, you can't do 100%. You are not a robot. I am not a robot. You will tell me that you're not a robot when you sign up for the mailing list, because there's one of those goofy little check mark things. You can't do 100%, so don't even try. Do B+ work. So many, here's the deal. Whatever motivates you is going to motivate you. I say, incorporate your humanity into what you're doing and lower the bar. None of this testosterone-filled bro, give it your all the time, blah, blah, blah. My inner lazy, sarcastic, Gen X, punk rock, New England person says, F that. As I sit on the sidelines hanging out with the band, having a grand time. Now you do you. You find what works for you. But if what you're doing isn't working for you, try something else. Actually, so Miracles of Money just said, can you repeat what the sticker says? Every little bit helps. Where's a little smidge right there? Every little bit helps. DestinationDecluttered.com, because now it's a marketing thing and I can write it off on my taxes. So If what you're doing isn't working, if what you did this year to declutter your home didn't work, okay, learn from it. What didn't work about it? Trying to get to 100% didn't work. Try something else. Aim for 50%. 50% is better than none percent. It's sure it's half of 100, but it's better than nothing. Every little bit helps. Every smidge, every step you take, every move you make. I know that's a creepy song. I'll be watching you. But every time, every little step I take. Yeah, do Bobby Brown more than Sting. Little creeper. Okay. Chunk it down. See, Jen B. See, I love this. This is so cool. I love when such a cool group of people organically come together when I do these TikTok lives that I just want to be sincerely grateful for all of y'all. All y'all. And now I'm from New England, so I rarely use the y'all, but boy, does it come in handy. And when I'm busy talking to one person there, really trying to connect one-on-one, because that's where I feel like, that's really where the magic happens. You all are in there chatting with each other, saying, hey, try this, try that. Maybe you can do this. I've heard her say chunk it down. This is good, So notice that. And thank you for being that way, and I don't want to conjure this up. You're like, oh, Beetlejuice type thing. Is somebody said to me, a one-on-one client that started in a TikTok live, and I will be honest with you, pretty much all year, this year, every single one of my clients has come to me via TikTok. And one of my clients said to me, she said, you know what one of the really cool things is about what you do and how you do it, and especially how you show up on TikTok, is the fact that there are no trolls. And if they are, immediately somebody will scurry them out. I ignore them. They just don't show up because we have a really cool community here. And thank you for making this a really cool community. Okay, so thank you for Jen helping Marlo about chunking it down. Pick a room, pick a spot. Thank you. Yes, and Emily just says runs to sign up for the mailing list. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's fun. Let me just give you. Here's a cool thing about the mailing list. And I know marketing wise, I should call it something different. Like, oh, I like to call it the members only list sometimes because I think of those 80s jackets with the epaulets. I'm always picturing somebody you went to high school with walking past the music room, going from like one class to the other. And that's probably the first time I saw a members only jacket. And a couple of fun things that happen when you're on the mailing list. First of all, you get a one-on-one, like you then will know how to get in touch with me one-on-one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That may not be the case all the time. If I blow up and have a quadrillion followers, I may change that. But for now, it's just a cool group of people right now. Also, you get, I decide all the good stuff always gets run through the people on the mailing list first. If I'm going to do a group coaching, which I might do at some point, if I do a free workshop on Zoom about breeze blocking, about making the most of your time so you can get stuff done, I'm going to be doing one of those. The people on the mailing list don't even know this yet because I haven't done a mailing list. I don't want to overwhelm you during the holidays, so I'm going to wait for next week, and then I'll send something out when you're like, Christmas is over. Is at the beginning of the year on Sunday, one of the Sundays, I'm going to do a free workshop just for the people on the mailing list about, I almost said setting goals, and I'm like, I don't want to call it that. It's just breeze blocking your week, your day, and looking out into the next year and saying, what do you want to do? And let's set up a plan to increase the likelihood that the good stuff you want to happen is going to happen. Okay, so those are free for the people on the mailing list. I also do a free monthly Zoom call. I haven't picked when that's going to be in January, because doesn't January still seem like a million miles away, as the Plimsolls would say? It's a million miles away, but it's really only like 10, 11 days. But it seems different because it's a new year. So I'm going to wait until next year and figure that out. Next week until after Christmas, when I've got a bit of a lull. That week between Christmas and New Year's, even if you're not working in any kind of retail or corporate environment, that week feels different, right? People on the mailing list get the stickers. I don't know. It's one way of thanking people. Frankly, it's a thank you to say, hey, you entrusted me with your email address. And I say thank you for being interested in what I'm doing and taking that next baby step. It's pretty low key, and you can unsubscribe at any time, yada, yada. But it is a really cool, easy peasy, like way to get more into decluttering. And maybe you want to then go into one-on-one coaching. We can totally make that happen. That's my paid thing. That's what I do. But in the meantime, I see a few of you signing up for the mailing list too. So obviously what I'm saying is helping. So there we go. Susan is saying, I'll never throw away a lip gloss. And now we're talking about lip gloss. And so I totally have, I'm not my lip gloss gent. I've never been, except for in fifth grade, going down to Woolworths. Lauren Raisman telling me that they had lip gloss on like the end cap that was like Bonnie Bell lip gloss, but it was cheaper. It smelled like vanilla or maybe mint. I'm more of a chapstick kind of gal. So you just remind me of that. I was like, ooh, my lips are dry. But I'll never throw away a lip gloss, no matter how many of the same variations of pink I have. Get curious. Get curious about the words you use, people. I get so curious when I find myself using those words that I call superlatives. The best, the most, never, always, never and always. That kind of all or nothing, black or white, 0 or 100%. That stuff. So I'll never throw it away. Why? And you have your answers, and be cool with it. You do you. But just get curious. If that lights you up, great. If it doesn't, though, figure out why you can't get rid of it and do something about it. Okay? All right, here we go. I just zooped everybody. Here, lip smackers were my favorite. Yes, I can smell them. Notice me, I go like this. Like I'm taking one of those ones, and I remember we used to go to CVS, and it was a small CVS. Now CVS is huge, and we used to just unscrew. Oh, that one's bubble gum. Oh my gosh, this one's candy cane. Ooh, this one's Dr. Pepper. I don't even know what Oh, that smells. Oh, this one's like 7-Up. Oh, I used to love that. So fun. So fun. Boston Sports Girl. So glad I found this page. Right back at you, lady. I am not a sports girl, but I am from Boston, so you'll hear me say Wicked a lot, even though I live in PA. Okay, lip smackers and lip glosses are my favorites. There we go. Okay, Christy, here, let me give you some help. Chrissy, I can't pronounce anybody's name, and I apologize, I'm trying, says, I need to declutter, but I'm staying because of your energy. Do this. Seriously, people, you will help her out. People who've been here before, do some decluttering while I am talking. Seriously, I will not be offended. You do not need to look at me to hear what I'm saying and absorb it. So many people, there's testimonials in saying, I get up and I do decluttering while Beth Destination Decluttered is doing a TikTok live, is when I find myself, I use that time to multitask and listen and declutter. Now, I will give you some help with this. One is that the way I teach and the way I coach is I divide clutter into 3 different categories. Remember I did that with the Zoom guys? Surface, stored, sentimental. So here's how I'm going to help you. Is depending upon the category of clutter, you will need to have a conversation with yourself that basically says, what is this? Do I want it? If I want it, where does it go? If I don't want it, where does it go? That's like the 1-2 cha-cha-cha of decluttering. It's so simple, but it takes some time, and you need to listen to yourself. And I can hear my mother saying, it's so loud in here, I can't hear myself think. In order to let yourself hear yourself think, it probably doesn't help for me to be yapping on in the background, because you're not paying attention to you and you're not paying attention to me. That is not good multitasking. However, you really only need to make that decision at a more gut and a more heart and core level with the stored and the sentimental. The stuff on the surface, however, you can do so much surface decluttering while I am chatting. I'm going to be on doing this TikTok live for the next 21 minutes. 20 minutes of decluttering just the surface is going to make your home look better than it does right now. And you are going to feel better than you do right now if you start right now and just even declutter for the next 20 minutes when I'm on, okay? So my energy will be with you. I show up in the energy of what I call your internal co-pilot. You're in the driver's seat. We're in a car. You're in the driver's seat. I am your wacky co-pilot who is a guide, who has been on this road trip before many times with myself driving, and then knowing how to get there and learning the hard way, school of hard knocks, taking the wrong way, getting distracted, all the stuff. But I learned from it. And I realized I could do it better the next time. So I did it better the next time. And each time I do it, it gets easier. And then I'm so freaking excited to share that info with you to save you decades of your life doing it the more difficult way. I want to make it easier for you. I show up and I say, if you listen to what I say and you do, if you implement these things that I say and you keep that encouragement, and then you begin to cultivate your own internal co-pilot and quiet down your backseat drivers, it just becomes easier. So I want to share that with you, and that's the only reason I show up. It's interesting because I remember once there was I can't remember his name. I remember what he looked like. I got a high school English teacher who said to me, "Oh, you would make a great teacher." And I'm like, meh, I don't really like kids. Didn't call to me, but boy, oh boy, RD, do I love to, and this has been a through line in my entire life, discover something that I'm excited about and then want to share it with somebody. And I have discovered a way of thinking and feeling and acting that has transformed my freaking life, my home, maybe not my body. I'm still, I'm still working on this because it's, menopause and human and all that, but so many other areas of my life. And I'm still working on all of it, but man, every time I do it, it gets easier. And I'm just so excited to share it with you because it doesn't have to be as difficult as it feels right now. And trust me, I'm on the other side. I'm looking around going, yep, I don't have to hang out. I can do whatever I want on the weekends because I don't have to stay home and clean my room. All right. All right. Somebody's got anxiety. Anxiety, people. Notice that is your internal nervous system where the fur is being rubbed the wrong way. Calm yourself down. And I mean this in the most loving way. I don't mean calm down. He calms me down when I'd rather be out of my mind. I sound more like Dracula than what's her name from Ivy, but you get it. I don't know. This is how my brain works. I am Gen X. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered, yada, yada. But I have music running through my head all the time. I come from a family who loves music. We're not particularly musical. We love music. We love songs. I married a musician, and so this is just... it cracks me up every time I can coordinate like a phrase with a song. My dad used to do this when we'd be in the car coming back from Grammys, and he'd be like, give me a word and I'll sing a song about it. So welcome to my Gen X neurodivergent brain, who can also work with her brain like nobody's business, who loves her brain and how it works and gets the results I want, gets to where I'm going. And I'm not fighting against my brain. I'm embracing how my brain works, and I'm setting up systems and processes and ways of doing things that work with how I am instead of fighting against it and putting a square peg in a round hole or vice versa. Okay? Yeah, see, Miracles and Money's just said, listen and declutter. Yes, listen and declutter. Okay. Now, let's see. Yes, I'm the navigator. I have the map. I'm the passenger. I'm not the passenger. I am a passenger because I can't drive you. Only you can drive. Okay? Oh, there we go. Kathy just says, I would still be sitting on my bed scrolling through TikTok. God, isn't that so... If you don't watch it, it's so easy. We're like, yep. The next thing you know, you're like, whoa. And this is the thing. It's easy to do that and let life scroll you by, and then you wake up and you go, holy shit, how did I get to be 57 years old? Whoa. All right, let me get up and do some stuff. Okay? Yes, but because of you, the bed is made. Well, thank you. But you know what? Notice what happened there, though. Everybody, notice what happened. I didn't make the bed. And all I did was give you some words, share some words with you. My words with my energy behind it came over to your head, and you heard the words, and it trickled down, and you felt how different it feels to hear something that makes you feel different. And when you feel different, you're going to do different. And technically, you feel differently. You're going to do something differently. Thoughts, head, heart, and hands. What you hear, what you think, makes you feel a certain way. And when you feel a certain way, you do a certain thing. And that can either keep you stuck or get you started. And notice how hearing different words and allowing them to be run through this wonderful human machine you have called your heart, your nervous system, your body, and saying, yep, that resonates with me. I feel that. I get that. that lands with me. It's not just like, yep, got it. Sounds good. I can do it. That's totally, you can even, I coach so much that I can tell when somebody's kind of like, yep, okay, sounds good, because it's all above the neck. The real change happens when you hear it here and you allow it to trickle down and say, you know what, I'm going to do something about that. And it can be as easy as, you know what, I'm going to get up out of bed. I'm going to still listen to this, going to put my phone down. And while this lady in her bathrobe and her teacup is chatting around, encouraging me, I'm going to make my bed. Oh my God, how nice do you feel now that your bed is made? And you can do more today, or you can just revel in the fact that you made your bed. Dopamine hits everywhere. Here, you get a dopamine hit, and you get a dopamine hit, and you get a dopamine hit. Milk whatever you do for as much dopamine. Chunk down your things into small tasks and reward yourself with a Tina Fey, Liz Lemon high five, a self high five, every opportunity. That will encourage you to go. It will give you the courage to take the next step. Okay? I love it. Binky is saying the less you have, the easier to clean. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just makes it easier. The less you have to dust. I know I have to dust. I will do this in the new year. I'm going to publicly declare this. Maybe I will bring you on. Maybe I'll do a TikTok live when I am cleaning off my Snow Dome collection. That could be fun. I would see. Notice how I'm trying to do something that I'm reticent to do because I'm like, oh, that's going to be. How can I make it fun for me? You know. So notice that. I'm worried about maintenance coming into my place. This and that creation says. Okay. All right. So notice that. What are you worried about? Get specific on that. I mean, judgment, of course. Are you worried that they can't get from point A to point B? Okay. If it is at the level where you are afraid that people can't go from point A to point B in your home, are you afraid of the sheer magnitude and volume of items? Hoarding is, and I say this with love, hoarding is, a diagnosis in the DSM-5. This is the big book of stuff that goes on that people who have medical degrees in, mental health can help you with. Now, I can help somebody with hoarding to a certain extent, but unless you uncover the what really is the stuff behind the stuff, as I like to say, I'm not going to be as effective. I'm not going to be able to help you get the true change you want in your life. And I say this with knowing my place in the world, and this is where, and I've said this before when I've been on consultations with people, that unlike the Monkees song, sometimes I am your stepping stone. Because I am the one to reinforce, you know what, yes, your clutter is affecting your life. No, I am not it. However, you know what the next stone to be is getting in touch with a licensed mental health professional. And they will help you get the help you do need, because there's a lot more stuff behind your stuff than I am trained to do. And if I was unethical, I'd be like, yeah, I can help you, whatever, because I just wanted your money. No, I want you to get the best help you need to get the life you want. And if that means saying I'm not your person, I'm going to set you off. This isn't going to work. I'm going to set you out into the world and say, here's some more info to take the next step to get you where you want to go. Okay? There we go. Andrea says, now making my bed before I go to work. I will feel so much better when I walk back in here. Yes. That is the thing too, is that this temporary few minutes it takes to shuff up your bed, right? Feels good when you're doing it. Feels good after you see it immediately. And then every time you walk past that room and walk into that room, you feel, check me out, bed made. Love it. You want that feeling all the freaking time. Looking into a room. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's a little thing there. Oh, there's a pair of underpants there that I brought home from, I'm going to put it away. That's what we want. I love it. Like think being alive. Yeah, it's currently doing dishes that's been sitting in the sink all night. Michelle, everybody. Yeah, seriously. I love it when people multitask when I'm doing a TikTok live, because what I do is not screen dependent. I will be flailing around my arms here like a Kermie. Probably the only thing I will do is point to my head, point to my heart, show you my hands. I might also kind of put a dividing line between, on one side of my head has unhelpful thoughts, unhelpful feelings, you're probably stuck. And on the other hand, on the other side of it, there's always another side to the story. Page 2, Paul Harvey, page 2. there's always another side of it that you may be just believing the one side that's like, this is hard, I'm difficult. Oh, thank you. Somebody just put a snowman up on my screen. I don't know how those things work. I know I'm supposed to like figure that stuff out, but I just enjoy what we do and how we do it. So I'm cool with this, but thank you. And the only other time you will listen, like that you would look at the screen, but I can describe it right now, is when I'm pointing to like a map. See this? This is supposed to be like a little map pin, like on a Google map. Like, you are here. Every day I show up. It's a different day, but you are here. We are here. And if you want to go on a road trip, you need to figure out where you want to go. And where's that place you want to go that's exciting? That is a destination. And then you define your destination, no matter how specific or general. The more specific it is, the more it kind of ignites a spark in your heart. Ignition, key in the ignition. Ignite your spark, and then what we do is we get you into gear as opposed to being stuck. Notice how we talk about things in the car world all the time, because you do this every day. You get out into your car and you say, where am I going? I'm going there. How do I get there? I turn on my car and I start driving towards it. Same thing with decluttering, and same thing with pretty much anything else you want in the world. But let's start with decluttering, because when you learn how to do it decluttering wise, you see the physical before and after, like an HGTV. Okay, notice that. All right. Callie Rose says, you are so authentic on this app and it's appreciated. Thank you. You know what? And here's what I say to that is, there are so many filters out there. There is AI. There is, computer generated everything. I think the most important thing to do in these days of mechanization is to show up as a real person, and being even more real than before. Because I know that the thing that changed for me when I felt like I could take that scary step and get some self-help help. Where the heck's my life going? I have no idea. I quit my job and I thought I was going to do this, but I'm getting in my own way and I'm not getting it done. Shh. I heard a voice. I was listening to a podcast. I was looking for help, and I heard little bits and pieces from people. And I had to practice to say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't dismiss the message just because you don't like the messenger, because the message can be good, but man, oh Manischewitz, does the messenger make a difference? Because I wasn't resonating with the guy on the stage with his headset and his suit. And I wasn't resonating, again, with the ladies and their suits on their headsets, or somebody who's being a little bit too mystical. I heard somebody on a podcast, but they had good things to say. And I'm like, yep, okay, I got it. Every little bit helped in that respect. But when I heard a voice that said something that was sarcastic, that was funny, that was casual, that told a story that I connected to, that said, I haven't, I hadn't had my poop in a scoop until I was in my 40s, and this is ridiculous. I was like, I can resonate. I can relate to that person. That day, I can probably look it back. It's so funny what you can do on the internet. I can probably go back to 2017 when I heard Jen Sincero, you are a badass, on a thing. I was like, oh my God, she is showing up like I want to show up in the world. And that's how I got here, basically, is getting some help, trusting myself, showing up. It took years, but now I don't care that I'm in my bathrobe and no makeup and not washed. The most awesome thing you can do is show up as yourself and not be fearful that you're going to be judged. And the people that judge you, F them. They don't care anyway. There we go. Kathy says, that's true. I did not resonate with under organizers, but you bring the Gen X vibe. And I don't do that strategically. I do it organically because that's who I am. I remembered meeting with a friend, a fellow person in my town, that we both resonated over this book, and we would get together and have like a mastermind. And I remember once saying to her, and she's a decade, plus younger than me. And I was like, you know what? I don't, we're trying to find your perfect audience and who do you want to work with and yada, yada. And I was like, I just want to work with people who get my jokes. Who get when I say, put one foot in front of the other, that they know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I decided to just show up as myself, speak who I am, try not to filter it. And this is what you want. This is what you get. You said something one day that changed my life. You said, in 2 minutes, if I can't decide to keep it item, just getting so stuck. Okay, there we go. So many good things. Having to make so many decisions, Yep. I needed to hear this. Okay. There we go, Gen X people. I'm telling you, it's good. You know, this and that creation is saying, and also just so you know, just backing up because I've only got about 5 minutes here, and then I do have to go, not have to. I could stay here, literally, you guys. I could stay here talking all day. But we've got stuff to do that we want to do, that we have to do. Even the stuff you have to do today. How can you make that enjoyable? Put on some music, have some fun. I don't know, get yourself an ice cream afterwards. Something to make it fun. Because if it isn't fun, as my sister would say, and as I say all the time, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. But what I want to offer to you too is tomorrow I'm doing a TikTok live. Tomorrow is Friday the 22nd. I am doing a TikTok live at 9 a.m. And then after next week, I will do some, but I'm not sure when they are. I will post them there. But I just want to remind you that if you are just meeting me right now, Beth Destination Decluttered, like my page, follow my page, whatever the F you call it here on TikTok, and you'll be notified when I do a TikTok live. The other thing, though, too, is if you're just starting out now and you're saying, oh, well, she's only doing a live, and I like to declutter while she's while she's live, but it's not working, is there is a library of TikTok live recordings at Destination Decluttered on YouTube. You can pop one of those on and pretend it's live. Go around your house, do your decluttering while this is on. Motivation, inspiration, wacky jokes, recipes. I don't do much recipes. I make toast. But having a person to know you're not alone on this. And one of the reasons I mention that is because that's why I read the comments, you know, I love it. Like, so this and that creation is just said for anybody who needs to hear it. We are all here. You are not alone. You can slowly make the changes. How cool is that? Now I read these because when they're going up onto the YouTube channel, these comments do not scroll by. You'll just see me going like this with my hand in my face. Don't even look. Oh, don't even look. Put the phone down. Put me on earbuds